You know how there's the IT department in every university or company that takes care of anything related to emails, servers, and websites? Well, the department that oversees the financial and economy of the world is obviously not the IT department, but rather an international organization called the IMF. And in this video, I will explain some of the important things that you should know about this highly controversial organization.
The International Monetary Fund has cut the global growth forecast for 2023, and according to the IMF, global growth is expected to slow to 2.7% next year.
You are now watching the White Obsidian Channel.
In short, the International Monetary Fund is a major financial agency of the United Nations and an international financial institution where its headquarters is in Washington, D.C., with a total number of 189 countries as its members. Countries that are not part of the IMF includes Cuba, East Timor, North Korea, Liechtenstein, Monaco, Taiwan, and Vatican City. The IMF was created alongside the World Bank at the Bretton Woods Conference in 1945. It sought to rebuild Europe after World War II. The conference also set up a modified gold standard to help countries maintain the value of their currencies. The planners also wanted to avoid the trade barriers and high interest rates which caused the Great Depression between 1929 and 1939. It can be quite confusing between the existence of the IMF and the World Bank. The IMF is mainly to bring stability to the global economy for both short and long term, by monitoring exchange rates between different countries, stabilizing international monetary systems, and fostering global financial cooperation. The IMF meets its goals by targeting these three objectives: monitoring global conditions and identifying risks among its member countries, advising its members on how to improve their economies, and providing technical assistance and short-term loans to prevent financial crisis. The World Bank focuses on financing and investing in developing countries, as well as eliminating poverty. Since the Second World War, many countries have created this interdependent connection between each other through trades and investments. Although this has strengthened the global economy overall, it has also created a weakness, which is where if the economy of a nation had collapsed, it would send economic shockwaves to other dependent nations too. And this is where the IMF steps in. They provide financial aid, or in other words, loans, to prevent that first nation from collapsing to promote an overall stable world economy. Plenty of experts think that the IMF is necessary for the stability of the world's economy, even though they're not doing a great job, and also feeding poorer nations with more debt which they can never repay. You can check the link down below for a list of countries that are still buried with IMF debt. There are a total of 27 countries that are still under some sort of financial loan from the IMF, which sums up to around $126 billion in total. Argentina takes the number 1 spot, accounting for 36% of this loan, and Ukraine being number 2 with roughly 8% of the total accounted loan, mainly because of the Russia-Ukraine war that had been going on since the start of 2022. If you want to know why Argentina is so much in debt towards the IMF, you can watch the whole economical crisis saga just by clicking the top right or at the link down below. One of the greatest examples of IMF helping the world economy to recover was the action made after the Lehman Brothers 2008 financial crisis. During that time, African countries were hit hard, resulting in the demand of imported goods to greatly decline, slowing down international growth rates. The problem was solved when the IMF had decided to loan billions of dollars to many African countries at a very low interest rate. As a result, countries such as Ghana had over 9% growth rate back in 2011 and remains one of Africa's greatest frontiers for emerging markets. Although the existence of the IMF had saved the world from many major economical collapses, the organization had been widely criticized for allowing desperate influence by a certain country. This is because members who invested more into the IMF have more voting rights. And nonetheless, the United States, being the largest contributor, comprises nearly a fifth of all the available votes. Occasionally, the IMF may impose some sort of rules or regulations when handing out loans towards desperate countries that may not be in their best of interest or align with their ideology. Since IMF is the last resort, countries that are desperate had no choice but to comply. Whether you think that the IMF's existence is necessary or not, the organization definitely plays an important role to maintain the balance of the world's economy. Without them, countries such as Greece, Argentina, Ukraine, and many African countries would have faced alternative futures that are way more catastrophic.